My name is Oloyede Tom. I'm the author of Lagos is Killing Me, published by the Rolling Lion Newcastle. And I'm here with Tolu, which is Tolu A. Akinyemi. How you doing, man?
Raw.
Yeah, can I get a row?
Raw.
I remember you were in Scotland, and then I think we spoke, and then you started with a row, and I almost fell off where I was. I was like, are you ever tired of rowing?
I'm not tired.
Okay.
When my friends call me now, they expect, say, when they greet me, we are so pleased after. I just answer with a row. Like, rah, rah, we are rowing together.
Oh, that makes a lot
So,
of sense.
it gives you a lot of energy. Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And you were actually, I think, at one of the open mic, poetry open mic also, you like starting with a row. What actually informs that?
Yeah, so I think it started from the start of the journey. When I published Dead Lionstone Raw, I would go into literary spaces to perform in Newcastle. And Tolu Akinyemi, the author of Dead Lionstone Raw, can I have it a loud roar like a lion? And everyone is roaring. So with time, as the years went by, when I mounted the stage to perform, people would say, oh, the lion is here, the lion is here, and people would start roaring. So I think that was how it all started. The whole room is electric. There was a show I had where I told people to start barking because of dead dogs don't bark. I was singing, we'll let the dogs out, and people were like, woo, 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 woo. And that was, at the launch of Dead Cats Don't Meow, people were meowing like cats, So I think it's just like a full circle movement, but I think the poignant one was just the raw, and so. And I think for me, a lot of performers before they go up on stage, people have come to tell me that, oh, thank you for all this roaring. It's helped them to build their own confidence. Like even seeing like a black man in a foreign country mounting the stage with confidence, telling the crowd, everybody start roaring and people are roaring. They feel like, oh wow, that takes some, grit and determination to so it's a really good form of icebreaker, just to get the crowd up, and it eases me well into my own performance as well. You cannot finish roaring and you are up there timid. So I hope everyone out there who is a performer finds their own sort of roar, something that puts them at ease with their audience and connects them. And I think the roar does that for me well, perfectly.
Oh, okay. That's fantastic. So anytime you do your role and every other stuff, which poem always comes to your mind? Is there any particular poem that comes to your mind?
Yeah, for me, I think it would be Dead Lions Don't Roll. I know I have like two different versions here, but it just like, and while we are alive, use your gifts while you can, as Dead Lions Don't Roll. Yeah, so because while we are here, that is why we can roll. When we are no longer here, people will have to go and start watching your old videos of of when you rolled, just to see what happened at the time. Yeah, so but the whole essence is that Dead Lions Don't Roll. So while you're alive, make your life count, make it worthwhile, use your gifts. If I did not awaken my own inner lion, if I did not unravel my own hidden gems, as the title of two of my books, then I would just be like in the graveyard. Therein lies many, many talents. With all their gifts and talent, they've lost it like in the graveyard. So I feel for me, like just being able to roll is a signal, a signal that I'm alive, I'm living, and I'm making an impact as well.
Oh, okay. That sounds fair. Oh, and then you had a shoot at the burial ground. And in my mind, I was like, which forces were calling you? I took you to the burial ground to go and, to the graveyard to go and shoot a poem, Were you battling anything? Were you in any state? Was it out of fear? Was it out of panic attack? Was it some sort of, home calling that actually just took you to the graveyard?
Yeah, so I think as humans, I think it's very important for us to stay in tune with our mortality. And I think that's the poignancy of that poem, mortality. I have fallen in love with my mortality, accepted its terms and conditions like those who came before. One day, these beautiful chapters will be forever closed, told as a folklore, and I'll be buried in Newcastle upon Tyne. the city of my shining star, and on like that. I will lay like a log, clutching at my books in solitude. And so it just goes to show that as humans today we are here, tomorrow we are gone with the wind. We must stay in touch with our mortality. We must accept, because the day you were born, that is the day you also accept that one day you are going to die. So mortality is just a message to everyone out there that you need to fall in love with your mortality, because with life comes death, and it's kind of inevitable. When a crash wants to happen, everybody is shouting, panicking. God, please help me. I don't want to die. But the truth is that one day we all are going to die. So the whole importance of it wasn't because of anything particularly that I was dealing with, but just to remind people. In that graveyard, what I saw was solitude. What I saw was finality.
Okay.
What I saw, even when I closed my own eyes in one of the graveyards, during the shoot, if we could show the BTS, I need to quickly open my eyes, because I was seeing people who had already died. So the graveyard tells you that everything is fine now, and we must accept that terms and conditions. We must fall in love with our mortality. We must live as if we can die at any time, and it must also show even in the way we live our lives. You must plan. If you are an adult, have a will, plan for your next of kin. Like, just don't live life as if you are going to be here forever. So mortality it's more akin, like similar to Dead Lions Don't Roar, but it's just sending a message that we need to fall in love with our mortality. And I think when we are in tune and in sync with our mortality, I think the world will be a better place. It will be a fairer place.
Okay. 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 So at the graveyard, you saw certain disturbing images while you close your eyes.
Yes.
Was it like they were trying to hunt you down, or they were like, "Oh, take more photographs of us"?
No, I just believe that it could also be like a sort of my imagination as well.
Oh,
because when you are in that sort of a place, see the way you painted that image, like, oh, what was going on? What was the state of mind? How, as even for a Nigerian-born person, for you to go to the graveyard, like, I can't remember if my parents had anything to say about that. I can't remember, but it's more like a kind of like a taboo, like for you to just go to the graveyard to do a shoot. You're falling in love with your mortality. You're not going to die. You're none of those things. Oh, you're going to be successful. Wale Soyinka did not die young. You will not die young. I think we had a conversation around all of those things, like we talked about it at that time or something. But for me, it was just a message to tell people. And for those who are looking for this poem, it's actually on YouTube. Just search for Tolu Mortality, and the video will come up as well. But it's just to tell us that, we are all mortal beings, and we must be in tune with that. We must fall in love with that mortality.
Okay, so as William Shakespeare would say, that the world is a stage, and we are all actors.
Yeah.
And
so just act your own part.
So at a particular period of time, you have to
exit and let the.
Was there any funny beats at the graveyard? Did you do any funny stuff there? Did you see some people come in? They just strolling casually. They were not in your own, in your world. They were not in your own calibration. You saw the place as a solemn place, but they just came, probably playing, running around the graveyard or something. Did you see anything like that?
Yeah, I think a couple of dog walkers and all of that. But I think the one thing I saw was just the calmness of the whole place. I saw dreams. I saw buried dreams. I saw talent. I saw greatness 6 feet below. I saw a lot of lions who could no longer roar. And that made me, I left. I was somber.
Wow.
Yeah. Because, what will you see in the graveyard? Aborted dreams. Unfulfilled ambitions. A lot of talent. People could go on to change the world forever.
Wow.
Yeah, so I think for me, it was just a period of reflection. And it wasn't something for me to feel like, because I went to the grave, I'm going to die shortly after. Or that they'll say, Tolu released that movie, or released the video, Shoes of Mortality. He died a few weeks after. Why did they go and test? We went to play with death. No. It wasn't just that. It wasn't because I was just well, with creativity.
Do you really believe that the spectrals, the dead ones, do you believe they are still more amongst humans, the living?
Yeah, I think my philosophy around the dead is that yeah, they are living, and maybe not among humans, but when you sleep at night, you have like various characters who come to, like, we all dream. We see different people. You could have people who have died like long ago, or who had died 1 million years ago. It doesn't matter, but we still see people. So I feel like the world is just a big theater. So either you are dead or you are alive. People still show up. People still talk to you. They are dead. It doesn't matter. So for me, I feel like life just continues, irrespective of either you are dead or you are alive. People are still living. People are living in whatever form. It could be through your works, it could be through, it could be through anything, your pictures. And truly, people who have died, they live on in the heart of those who truly matter to them, like forever. I still carry the picture of my grandparents in my heart. I still think about them. And
Seriously?
yeah, I still think about them. I
You
think
know
of,
them?
what do you mean?
You
Yeah.
carry their picture around?
Yeah, I'm saying like
Your
in
grandparents?
my heart.
Okay,
Like,
your heart, okay.
yeah. So I still think about them. They are still dear to me. I remember my grandma. Even with the things that have become part of my own literary life. My grandma used to tell me, maternal grandma. She used to tell me a lot of stories. Like, she would tell me same stories over and over again. So I come from that culture whereby I grew up on the feet of storytellers. My paternal grandfather, he was a he was a sort of musician slash bard in his own time. So for me, I feel like I grew among I grew in the midst of orators, storytellers. So I'm just like carrying on the torch from
Okay.
from my ancestry. People who have walked the path before me.
So which of them do you think was known in his own circle as or were they quite popular? Were they great, of renown?
Yeah, so I think my paternal grandfather, from even the stories my dad later told me, it was he had his own own musical group that I was part
Oh,
of. And
interesting.
yeah, so at least, well, I would say in a way I've even elevated that name now to something much more bigger than he could have in his own time. So, and I think that's even the prayer of every parent, that the one who comes after them can
Carry on.
carry that family torch, take that name farther than they could have imagined. Yeah, so
Do you play any music?
uh,
Any instrument?
none at the moment, but my son plays the piano. Yeah, so, and I think that's what we also say, like, talk about passing. Even though
Passing the touch.
you're passing the torch. Even though I'm not good in this area, if there's someone in the family who could elevate, like, take the family to an higher pedestal, then so be it. Yeah, so
Okay, so I know you've been inspired by certain books when you started writing, but when you look at your catalog of books, which books in the present have actually inspired, have spoken to you?
In terms of inspiration in the present, so I would not say maybe any particular book spoke to me for my own works in that sort of way, because as an observational writer, a writer who loves to, like, write based on lived experiences or things happening in the society. It wasn't like looking for inspiration through other people or
People's
what other
work.
people have written, because I think the whole genesis of or my own origin story was that I used to advocate a lot for originality in writing. I know a lot of writers will say, "Oh, there's nothing like
Originality,
not like
rising.
originality. There's nothing you are writing. People have written it before," and they use that as an avenue to be like wannabes. Wannabes of other writers. They are like an
Copy the
imitation
style.
of.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so you see, like, some Bukowski wannabes. You see, like, Derek Walcott wannabes. Everyone is trying to imitate someone else, write in the image of the other writer. But for me, when I started out, there wasn't just one person or one book that I read that just changed my whole trajectory to say, oh, I want to write like this person. my own faculty at that time was like, oh, I wanted people to pick up my book and say, oh, Tolu A. Akinyemi has written this book. So I think that was what shaped even my foray into writing. I wasn't writing from the point of view or from the lens of, oh, this book was the book that changed my whole life, or that changed the course of my writing. I say, oh, if not for that writer who changed my life, I read your book, oh wow. It was just more of a case of, I wanted people to be able to pick my own writing and say that, yeah, we feel this guy. Through the years, he has been consistent in his writing. And, we can pick any of his book and we know for a fact that he has written this book.
Oh, okay. And then the advent of AI has actually sunk a whole lot of people into plastic writing. So what do you think about writers that actually engage in such, I don't want to use the word perfidy, but I think it's actually, self-deprecation to an extent, to lose your voice to a machine? Or what's your take on that?
Yeah, so personally, I think I always say this, that it takes a lot of imagination, intuitiveness, and for anyone who writes a book, if I know Tom Oloyede, you've written Lagos is Killing Me, I'm going to respect you like for life, because it takes a lot of grit, a lot of creative imagination for you to write, for you to use your own brain, for you to imagine, come up with the image, the imagery, the similes, the metaphors, like just for you to create this body of work out of nothing. I respect like every creator, but for people who just believe like they can just, use artificial intelligence to just create something, and I think it's like a crime against creators. I feel like AI is good in the sense that, yeah, for all the editing tools, to finance the work, to do all of that, and we wouldn't fault AI in that regard if you need to use it to edit things before you put out work, just to be sure that all your tenses are right, your punctuations are right, and wherever it has to be. Yeah, fair enough. But I have people that will come to me to come and help me, they'll come and support me. I want to write a book, but I want to use ChatGPT. I'm like, no, I'm sorry. I don't mentor people who want to use this as an avenue, ChatGPT or any AI tool, to write a book, because I believe like it's an injustice against the real creators, and that's the way I say like it's a real injustice. And so I would encourage anyone watching us that as a creator, please
don't do it. Don't do it. Because we're gonna know because it's always trite,
yeah,
and full of negative syncopations.
Yeah.
And then the stem and then the roots of the whole story, they just fling themselves sideways, you know. So it's quite terrible. So I want us to quickly dig into the book, Emotion.
Yeah.
At what point did you come into this? What epiphany did you have that brought this into you?
Yeah, so first of all, I was thinking about my own, journey into the UK, what home has been, what the UK has been in terms of being home, to me and for me. I feel like I owe the UK a lot. Like, when at times so many truths can coexist in terms of I am still the same poet who wrote the collection of poems Black Does Not Equal Inferior, speaking out for the Black community. That being a Black person, we speak up against injustice against fellow Blacks, we speak up against police brutality, and we are still saying that these Black voices cannot be silenced. But also the UK can still be home in that regard. The UK is that place where I've written and published 24 books, and that's for a fact. So for me, home has to be that place, that Newcastle has to be in that frame, that picture of what we can call home in the real sense of it. If you've achieved a lot in a city, if you've been welcomed in a city, if you've been welcomed in a country, then you have no option than to adopt that place as home. I found rest. I've achieved all of my dreams in this country, in the United Kingdom. I've achieved so much. Even in my other career, like outside of the creative writing, I've achieved a lot. So I owe a lot. So that's why I say, like, if the story of my life, where you are putting the kitty up, or he's from Ekiti State in Nigeria, lives in Lagos, all of that, Please give Newcastle the flowers it deserves. Give my time in London the flower it deserves. Give my time in Manchester the flower it deserves, because all these cities have played a pivotal part in the person, in my becoming, in my story, coming from the shadows to the spotlight. Toludo from the shadows to the spotlight. It took a lot to get there, and I'm happy that, home emotion is just a statement to say, yeah, I found my own city, my own place of rest. So why some people are saying, oh, go and bury me beside my grandfather when I die? No, don't. Please, just bury me in my own city of dreams in Newcastle upon Tyne. Don't go and put me in,
More strange.
don't go and put me in just one place whereby when you are dead,
The cops don't know you there.
nobody will even come to the graveyard to tend to it or to even, yeah. So this is the city that's been pivotal. This is the country that's helped to shape who I have become. So massive thanks to the Arts Council England. Massive thanks to all the writers who have shaped my literary career. Massive thanks to all the community of writers who have, who have journeyed with me, supported me on my own path to greatness.
Showing you the path.
So home emotion is just an amalgamation of my own origin story, my story of identity, community, migration, and how I found home in Newcastle upon Tyne.
Oh, makes sense. You left the shadows to come into spotlight.
Yeah.
Then the people you left in the shadows, their shadow are still occupying the spotlight. Okay.
No, the aim is to bring people as way out of the shadows to the spotlight.
Oh,
and I think
okay.
I've committed a lot of my time and life as well, either through mentoring, to ensure that people leave the shadows and come to the spotlight as well.
Okay, let's quickly enter into this book. Okay, I think sibling war.
Yeah.
What inspires sibling war?
Yeah, so sibling war, just inspired by my 2 young children, and what do you expect with kids? At times it could be like a war zone, and yeah, so just that was the inspiration.
At what point did you ask for DNA test?
No, but I could not, it's not even just possible to ask for the DNA test because the semblance, the way they it's just illogical, to be fair.
Yeah,
even the voice, the looks, they're just
them out.
It's not possible.
Okay, that
They'll be
makes
like,
no
oh,
sense.
maybe it's going mental, if he dares to ask for a DNA test.
Okay, let's talk about our country. Presently, where we came from, there have been issues of, human rights abuse, police brutality, and it's one of those things in your book. So, what can you speak to the present, state of madness amongst the security outfits in Nigeria, just brutalizing people and things like that, what's your take?
Yeah, I think I think it's a well-known fact that police brutality has been a thing in Nigeria for a fair bit. I think the Nigerian police force has, I think the force in that name, Nigerian police force. So it's just like I think maybe because they believe that they have to do everything through force. So from the colonial era, then through the years of military intervention, and even where we've had democratic governments in place, the police believes they are superior. I think the Nigerian police, they do not act on the premise that they are being funded by the taxpayers' money. So I feel like they feel like when they hold the gun, when the Nigerian police officer holds the gun, you should be scared for your life, because if a police officer believes they can waste anybody at any time, and so that guy did it in the open. But I think is a known fact that the Nigerian police, it shows that they can, any one of them, imagine they can do it in the open. What would they do after hours, late in the night? So for me, I feel like
it's just painful.
I think is a reflection of the society that we've built over the years. People who are absorbed into the police force. I think they will need more of
psychotherapists.
Yeah, they need I think there are a lot of issues in regards to recruitment, the characters that are employed into the force, and even the force, the police themselves, knowing like their own rights and their own limitations, and knowing that, like just understanding that they are not to be there to kill the citizens that they are there to protect. You can't just kill someone in broad daylight under the guise of the guy said he wanted to confess. So, but I feel like it's just a reflection of the whole Nigerian society at large as well, like what the society has become, even in the sort of leaders that we have in place, and how every institution has been bastardized. Every institution that should be standing has been bastardized. So for me,
I think we should replace the force. What do you think we should put with the force? Instead of the force, Nigerian police, should it be circus so that they know that they are permitted to also dance?
no, maybe just the Nigerian police.
Just the Nigerian police,
Yeah.
right? Okay. So I would like to go into another one, which is recipe for longevity.
Yeah.
Do you think people in this generation will actually, attain a certain level of long life?
Yeah, I would.
So
I would.
you will assume that, right?
I will be the case study for that.
How long do you want to live?
As long as Shoyinka.
As long as Shoyinka, Shoyinka is in his 90s.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad. Oh, yeah, that's not bad. Okay, yeah, recipe for longevity: 2 world wars, 2 pandemics, doubling and coupling, signposted by unraveling miseries and quaking mysteries. 1 pandemic and my body has become soggy bread. 2 pandemics and an imaginary world war, and I head for the fire escape. Recipe for longevity from the Book of Maria: extinguish negative flames, flush toxicity through the fire exit, romance tranquility, kiss nature. Why do you have to use kiss nature in that space?
Yeah, so when you're romancing tranquility, then just kiss nature. Just embrace nature. Just take nature in. Because, like I said, extinguish negative flames, or the toxic vibe. If you want to live long, you can't spend your time, your life, engrossed in wars, in bitterness, in hate, in strife. That's a recipe to just die young. Like some people say, oh, they are young people, but they have high blood pressure. What causes all of this is because of the negativity in your heart. You are the one fighting your siblings. You are the one fighting, oh, this person is bad, this colleague is bad. It can't just be you. So I feel like we also, if you want to live long, just reflect back. Check yourself. Like, everyone cannot just hate you. Like, so for people who feel like, oh, people do not like me, oh, people hate me, oh, this, that. No, check yourself.
Check yourself.
Talking to you, bro to bro, or bro to sis. Check yourself.
Look in the mirror.
Yeah. Look in the mirror and check yourself.
Listen to a lot of Mike Jackson too. Okay, so we have another one. We have keep your minors.
Yeah.
I think I like that poem. Keep your minors. And I think we have a whole lot of, I was contesting certain things in that poem. You said take them off the shelf. In the first instance, are your minors supposed to be on the shelf? Are minors supposed to be? Are they supposed to be on the shelf in the first instance?
Yeah. So in the first instance, they shouldn't be on the shelf. But the world that we live in today, some people are even placing their minors on the shelf. They are putting them on the World Wide Web. They are exposing them to a lot of harm. So just keep them off. Bring them back in. For some, they even sexualize their minors. And that's the truth. For some, they introduce their minors to alcohol, to drinking quite early in life. For some, it's to smoking. For some, it's just because they don't care. They don't have the time to look after these minors. So some have kids, they don't even care. They're not at home. No father figures. So first of all, just keep those minors off the shelf. So for me, it was just an image to say, just bring them back in. Bring them back. Remove them from the view of society. Because society as we have it is looking to harm them. Just keep them off the shelf.
Then, okay. Then King's Cross. What led to King's Cross in this collection? Because, King's Cross, everybody, you have to pass through King's Cross, Most times you have to take, you have to be en route through that, to detour or do whatever, or to break into the bowels of London, you have to probably take King's Cross. So what actually inspired King's Cross?
Once at London King's Cross, a wandering stranger, now I have become the King's Cross. So
Yeah.
once upon a time, I used to be like a wandering stranger, walking up and down. Yeah, so but now I feel like yeah, I've become the King's Cross, and yeah, and that's it, and that was what inspired it. Like yeah, so at times, and at that time, not like I saw the full picture. At that time, we didn't really even have a king in the real sense of it, but now we have a king, and as a Nigerian British citizen, partly now I'm the King's Cross as well. So
So definitely in you now, since you're King's Cross, metaphorically, and if I want to apply literally, so things are wandering in you now also. Things are wandering in you. So what are those things wandering in you? Are they your dreams? Are they your aspirations? Are they your thoughts? Are they things that are to come? Or things you still cannot fathom out? Or dreams you're still chasing? Or certain things you want to grab either from the celestial, from the everyday cycle, social, economic, angle of things. What are the things that are really wandering in you?
yeah, so when I arrived King's Cross, back then I was a wandering stranger. Now that I've become the King's Cross, I am no longer a wandering stranger. At least my life has found form. I'm now like a fully formed writer, poet, accomplished in my own right. So I wouldn't say there's anything precisely that is wandering in me. Like, yeah, because life is all about stages, phases, and all of that. So I think I've gone past that era of
You're
being a
wondering.
wandering stranger and trying to figure out how I was going to like survive in the UK, how everything was going to be. There are times like you are thinking of, well, even to get a job, you're thinking of my visa type. There are some visa types they will not accept. If you have like a short time left on your visa, you are worried about that. There was a period in my life where all I was just checking was the post box. Oh, I'm awaiting an immigration decision. And I remember vividly I was at like a work party, like I think that was around 2018. And the Home Office had sent me like an email to say, you have just, I think maybe 1 week or 10 days to leave the UK. Even though I knew I was going to like renew my visa at the time, but my mood at that party just changed to one of sorrow, like
Wow.
intense sorrow. Like because the way that email just dropped, like, Home Office. I hope they are not outside. So like I've gone through like different phases.
You hope the others like they're
Yeah,
there
like
to
they've come
bond
to
you.
just come and carry me. So I've gone to like different phases. So but right now I wouldn't see myself through that phase of being that wandering stranger because I think even when you have like your permanent residency, it gives you like that sort of comfort in a way as well. You're able to, you're not worried about that aspect that are they am I do I have like do I have a future here? So I feel like in that sort of way, like yeah, I'm a bit calm now.
Oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. But in those times and in that particular scenario, what if they were actually outside? Would you have gone home?
I no, I stay at the Valley stay, so
Which was 10 days.
yeah, at the time, yeah, even if it's 1 day, they say
It's still
yeah,
valid,
it's
right?
still valid,
So you
yeah.
have to sleep
And
over.
once and once you apply, you are covered through Section 3C anyways. So that makes sense. That
Was it
makes
the
it clear.
situation that made you start studying? You're right.
Yeah,
But
you
that's quite interesting.
you always need to know your rights, like in every situation.
Has there ever been? Oh, so if you're watching Peradventure, but Peradventure movie is by the corner. You hear the section, so just tap into that
Section
section.
3C.
It could, well, yeah. Okay, so there's this poem. Yeah. In your foray in this particular country, are there been any times you had to look back at home? Were you in any dire straits that you had to look back at home?
Um, I think not really in that street, but I've always just had this ambition that I want to like start a bookshop, a bookstore kind of dream, and I still have that dream. So I don't think it has to be that straight. My parents are back home in Nigeria, and I still have fond memories of living in Nigeria, growing up in Nigeria, and I always say like home is not static. Home is not like even though I'm saying no, I found rest in the UK tomorrow. I may want to return to Nigeria or go to a different country. I don't want to see home from that lens of, oh, now that I'm here in the UK. Some people will tell you that, oh, once they arrive in the UK, God forbid, they will never go to Nigeria again. Yeah, come on. It's not that,
Deep.
it's not, like, as if, I think Nigeria, a lot of people, they suffered in Nigeria. So I think maybe, yeah, they may have their reasons, but
Yeah, it's just trauma response, perhaps.
yeah, the trauma. Where, there's a way poverty can deal with you. Poverty, police brutality, and like I remember the time, like so many years ago, as teenagers, the police brutalized my elder brother and I. Like the brutality was crazy. Like up to now, when I remember that brutality, like I have like PTSD. It was terrible, especially my brother. They just, with their police stick.
Seriously?
Yeah, we like, because we went to Oshodi, like, to repair our Nintendo game, or I think it was Sega game or something.
Oh,
They
Sega.
just dumped us into a bus with some other riffraffs, and they took us to their station, and they wanted, like, seriously. So we've experienced police brutality at its core. So I feel like, yeah, maybe people are just responding to a lot of, Nigeria has happened to them in some sort of way. It could be lack of resources, lack of opportunities, no jobs. Then they come to a functional country, and they feel like, oh, we are throwing away the keys. Never again, never in my lifetime will I go to Nigeria. But I don't think it's that deep. Because all those telling you to go back to your country, where they tell you to go back and maybe reform gets into power and they are forcing people back home, it's that same country you are saying, no, you throw the keys away. You'll be able to go and look for that key wherever you throw it.
Wow. Well, may that not happen in our lifetime. Okay, so I don't want to be political, but I think it has always been a recurrence. There are always this party that wants to blame the immigrant for everything. It's always immigrants, whatever. If they can't see clearly, if it's dark, it's immigrants. If they can blame night on immigrants, they will do it.
Because it's easier to win the people by telling them they use immigration as a tool to get to power. It's not like they will do anything about it, but just a tool. The people love to hear that. Oh, no more migrants, but it's never happened. They've not done enough to even implement those policies. Yeah, so they just say to win elections.
Yeah, but
more like rhetoric.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what they're just trying to steer the people, the emotions of the people, and it's quite crazy. But don't you think, because we're black bodies, we should be concerned about a whole lot of stuff in this space, and you operate a company in a space like this. Do you think you don't have access to certain things because you're from a minority group? Do you think that? Do you see that? Do you let that actually intrude into things you really want to get done?
I think for me, that's why I try to create as well. Like, just create, like, rather than wait for other people to, like, give you those platforms, like, those opportunities. Why not just create them? And that's more like the idea behind the Roaring Lion Newcastle, Lion and Lilac, the Newcastle Review, and some of the other things I do, like, in my own private space. So rather than, because obviously this is not, like, we are not from here, like, originally from here in that sort of way. And obviously there will be limitations in the sort of things you can access and all of those opportunities and everything. So, but where those opportunities do not exist, I just try to fashion my own way and just create those opportunities so that others can benefit as well.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Oh, I like this poem, Deflowered. I like what you did there. Deflowered. My driving license lost its virginity. This is sour fruits, point on fines, a day in court or a national speed awareness course. The letter from Northumbria police was like a gun to my head. It left me trembling, distressed and naked, caught by an eagle-eyed camera for the first time. There's always a first time to break the veil of innocence. The purpose of this trip has been wiped from the functional part of my memory. My partner thinks it was an unholy adventure, and I am only paying for my fatal sins. So you have to let us know that your driving license was deflowered of its innocence.
It was disvirgin.
It was
Deflowered. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I wanted you to describe that scenario. How did you feel when you knew the camera caught you? Did you feel some sort of despair?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, because I have this voice in my car that alerts me whenever I'm like over the speed limit, and I think during that time period, I switched it off. So I think I just had myself to blame for that scenario, because if I had that voice telling me you are over the speed limit, I would just reduce my speed at that point in time. Yeah. So, but when I just saw that camera, I was like kind of like disappointed, like, oh no. And when the letter came, actually when the letter came and I saw Northumbria Police, I didn't even know it was from that. Like I didn't know, like I saw the police van, I saw that my speed was a bit off, and I tried to reduce because it was a mobile speed camera that was just in a van. So when the letter came, I saw Northumbria Police. I was like, police, ah, maybe we Nigerians we just don't. So I've been in this country. I've never had anything to do with the police. So just getting a letter from the police was just, yeah, I was traumatized by that.
Oh, okay. Was it just fear, or it's not that deep now?
No,
You just have to
anything
pay
police.
fine.
No, anything police. When you just put letter, it's all about police on it. I like, police. Wait till I do. So when you now say, oh, this, that, like that,
Okay.
yes, soften the bit, but yeah, but
What
the
was
fact,
the worst thing you thought of?
you know, like I think we've had like many years ago we had like the police knock on our door to say, oh, some people played loud music maybe some months or few months after, like back, and they were asking, oh, did you hear anything, where was it from? We said no. So basically, I don't. That's why I just try to do everything like clean business. I don't involve myself in anything negative, or so that when I see a police car in town,
You can interact with them.
no, I can just walk around freely. You're not at home scared that, oh, maybe the police might show up at your door. So if your hands are pure and clean, and because this is a country whereby no matter what you do, the police will find you here. So you just have to ensure that you keep your hands clean.
At the train station this morning, okay, they were actually bus replacements.
Okay.
So I didn't really know if the train would go, or
Okay.
we are supposed to use the bus.
Yeah.
So at the entrance, the turnstile, there was a guy who was checking tickets,
Yeah.
but there were some white guys in front of me. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, it's almost time, I need to go and every other stuff. So it was just asking people, they have your ticket, they say, yeah, it will just pass them. They have a ticket, it will pass them. They have a ticket, it will pass them. Then it
Yeah.
was my turn. I was like, do you have a ticket? I said, yes. He said, oh, then he passed me. Then later I now said, show me the ticket. I said, no, I'm not going to show you the ticket. If you don't show those, if you did not ask those guys to show you their tickets,
Yeah.
I will not show you my ticket.
Yeah.
I was like, no, do you have your ticket? I'm going to call the police. I said, call the police. I was like, oh, you have to show me your ticket. I said, no, you have to ask those people to show you their tickets. The guy
Yeah.
was just looking at me like, who is this guy? Why don't you call the police? Oh?
Oh, really?
I told the policeman, look at what he did. Ask him to ask those guys for their ticket and I will show you my ticket. Yeah, I was like, no, it's a simple stuff, it's an easy stuff, just show him your ticket. I said, but why didn't they ask those ones for their tickets? I stood there for like 5 minutes. The policeman was just looking at me. I was like, no, I don't want to use the word, but if you make me use the word, I'm going to use it. Are you being a racist right now? The guy was just calm down. Oh no, but I said, no, showing my ticket is not my problem, but why didn't you ask them? Am I different?
Yeah.
I left, I just climbed the stairs, I just
And I
left the
think
game on my
that
train.
was what, like, I was in a previous conversation I had, and someone was telling me, oh, since it went at like his own experience, lived experience in the UK was that he has never experienced like any form of racism or anything. And I was like, I told the person like that people's lived experiences are different. Like from your own lived experience might be different to mine, and the way you would react to that sort of oppression or situation might be entirely different, because some people through maybe past experiences you will possibly just speak up against injustice or those sort of scenarios. So the fact that one person has not experienced maybe or does not have that lived experience of racism directed at them does not mean it doesn't exist. So we should not look at it from the prism that, oh, people who are crying, oh, racism, or people who react to issues in a certain way, they are overreacting or exaggerating. No, because You don't know what they've experienced. You don't know what people around them have experienced. People in their community, what they've experienced. So it might just be their own reaction to say, don't try me, don't bring it near me. If you can't do it to that white person who's just passed, then I, a
No, I
black
won't
man,
allow
will
you.
not accept
No,
that.
you won't
Yeah.
do that. I won't show you my ticket. I told him I won't show you until I see that man. And the man was in front of us. I said, go and ask him to show you his ticket. I was just staring. I was like, who is this black guy? In my mind, I was like, I'm going to bankrupt you to your fourth generation. I just left it. I climbed the stairs and I went away. Everybody was just staring at me. Even the policemen, they were just staring like, this guy, I'm very sure they'll go and find out that is this guy from Nigeria? Well, that's quite that's by the way. I love this one, Ekitikete. Um, were you missing home when you wrote this Ekitikete?
No, just to kind of document, put Ekiti in the spotlight and Ekiti and Ekiti, yeah, just to spotlight our, I would say our state of origin, to put in the spotlight and, for the so many great people, accomplished humans who originate from Ekiti, yeah, so just to say, yeah.
But plainly, reading Ekitikete, almost all the images you use are actually, still in the other tongue. Didn't you think, oh, probably I should put a splash of certain distinct image I can only find in Ekiti, probably the Ikosi spring or something in the poem. And coincidentally, we're both from Ekiti, So, and the last time I was home, I I noticed a whole lot of stuff in that space. I think the whoever is governing those places, I think they're not doing a good job. I'm not even sure they understand their jobs. But it's sickening that the roads, are still questionable. The roads are like death traps. And then you can't even, you just have to spend unnecessary hours in gridlocks. It's just very crazy. So I think somehow I can resonate. This actually resonates with me. I can identify it with me because this is also my home. So somehow in home emotion, I found home moving in me, and I'm actually propelled. I'm gingered to want to go back home and probably become the governor, or run for the House of Rep or House of Senate or something just to represent my home and see if I can really do the work. That's personal basically. But from what you wrote, did it come to any new lights, any new knowledge or any new resolution about home or what you can do in Ekiti basically, not just in Nigeria?
Yeah, so for me, I think it would have to, at some point in the future, yeah, giving back in terms of maybe supporting students, young people who want to venture into writing, be like a sort of mentor, father figure for aspiring writers, like just going, you know, who would want to take writing serious and all of that. Yeah, so even supporting, like just making funds available as well to support writers from Ekiti State. Yeah, so for me, I think that would be the sort of thing I'll be looking at. Maybe build a library, equip libraries within the state. So those are some of the things I would like to do here. But I think the poems were just written to like celebrate the state itself, the people from the state. Talking about the erudite and scholarly living, men of letters and stupendous acumen, and also how I, from being from that place, have now become a tree in the forest where men shape what, and yeah, and I hope this road at some point will take me home as well. So I think it wasn't just to spotlight any particular place in Ekiti, but just to picture or build that image around my own journey as someone who has come from this place where a lot of scholarly people have come, and I've also now found my own voice in the world. So I think for me that's just been the whole idea around the poem as well.
You've been around book fairs. How do you think the book has been doing so far in book fairs?
Yeah, not just book fairs. I think there's been like good response to it in terms of, people can feel people see the experience, the point of view of why the poet has documented his stories, and I think it's very important that we tell our stories as well as writers, as we would always have to document so that for not just for this generation, but for many more who are coming after us, when we do not tell our stories, these stories get erased there. So, yeah, I think the book is doing generally well. People, everyone can see why the book has been written, sharing the experiences, the highs and the lows, and yeah,
What project in the future you're excited about?
yeah, maybe becoming a novelist. Yeah, I would say that would be. I may have to throw possibly like a party, just finally deal done. Yeah, so but
So it
yeah,
means something is in the pipeline.
yeah, at the moment nothing. So just on the Rolling Lion Newcastle front, we are publishing some new writers. So
Oh
I think
yeah.
my focus has been majorly on that, getting it across the line, celebrating their book launches. I feel like I'm just in this sort of space whereby I'm just kind of chilled, like writing wise. I don't even feel like I'm a writer anymore. In that I just write when the ideas flow. I'm not like pressure myself to write daily or weekly or anything like that. So I'm just in my own space and yeah, just trying to promote other people, bring them on the input and get more books out on the Roaring Lion Newcastle platform as well.
So how do you aggregate everything? Being a compliance person, being a writer, being a poet, being a short story writer, being a family man, and some other probably concerns that you also take care of. How do you aggregate everything together?
I'm being present in the other room. Being functional in the other room. A functional,
Yeah,
no, yeah,
but
not like Buhari's mantra. We are
yeah.
seeing we are still functional in the other room. Yeah, so I think it's very important to be able to manage all those conflicting priorities, like doing everything really well. So not just like one bit, doing yeah. So in terms of the home front, still a fantastic father to the kids. In fact, they serenade me with so much love. I'm like, is this real? This is just too much love. Like my daughter says, "Oh, Daddy, you're my best friend." I'm like, "Oh no, this is too much love for just one person." Yeah. So yeah, the kids are really lovely. Being a dad and trying to like I went to my son's parents' evening on Thursday, and the kids are like you could see that even as a father, I've done like a fantastic job. Like the teachers are like, "Oh, this is a well-mannered boy, very polite." Yeah, so you would see like if as a father, as a parent, if you are doing something great, you would definitely know in terms of even the feedback, because obviously there are some students that they go to school and the teachers are like they would know that this one's maybe there are a few
Cantankerous.
things lacking in terms of home training and all of that. Yeah, so we try to manage it with the day job, always hoping that that does not overshadow the creative side so much, because I think it could at times at very busy periods, and you want to deliver on that side as well, even eating into your own personal hours. So I think that's always a challenge when you have another life, managing a career. But I think on the whole as well, I'm making the future much more better in terms of just ensuring that, following in the footsteps of those of, let me just say, my parents, my dad being a capital market person, investment focused. I'm also like following in those footsteps as well, so that I can at some point be able to rest and say, okay, maybe I'm done with like working full time, then I can actually focus on my own endeavors, which
Oh yeah,
which deserves my attention as
yeah.
well.
That's true. That actually does capital markets.
He's retired now though, but retired but not tired.
Yeah, or he's not tired. I would like to trade some stocks. I'll hit him up. Okay, so for anybody that wants to get published, what advice do you have for them?
Yeah, so I feel like as a writer, so just getting your work out there, it's okay. With writing comes vulnerability. So I've had I've had some writers who when they got like negative reviews, they were running from pillar to post. So writing comes with a lot of like vulnerability.
That's true.
And when you expose your ideas to the world, you share your ideas with people, not everyone will like your work.
That's true.
Yeah, we've had writers, we've been on the space together where a supposed said writer said, a writer was saying, oh, nobody has said anything bad about my book. But it's not possible for, that means you've not exposed that book to be challenged in a way. Like,
Yes, no.
yeah, so for me, I feel like writing comes with vulnerability, so chin up, Don't feel like an imposter. Don't feel like you're not. Don't try to imitate anybody. Just be yourself. I still, like I always say, I'm an advocate of original writing. Yeah, so you're not a version of anyone else.
So
Just be yourself, and
resist the temptation to
yeah,
consult chat
and don't use AI.
AI, any AI too, because
Don't tell AI to write for you.
yeah, people might
Yeah,
switch.
yeah. Don't do that.
Some people call
I know
themselves
some writers are
curator.
fighting, advocating for AI, but
Yeah, we know writers are advocating for AI. Like, I'm just conducting it, But, we believe in originality. And on this note, it's been a pleasure, having this interaction with you. For the people watching, it's been a pleasure having this interaction with the Lion of Newcastle. We'll see you some other time. If I'm still in the UK, I'll see you guys. I may be anywhere in the world, but I'll still see you guys. So thank you all.